daisy chains and sweet champagne, and 2 days alone with you. Not too far from the city by car, or maybe we can make a more romantic trip by train to the country. It's where I want to be with you for the week.
It just doesn't show up in the camera, does it? Hold on. Good morning everyone. It is cloudy, early. Woke up to a little dusting of snow on the grass out here. This is the third snow event that we've had. We got that 3 inches, then we got another wet snow late one night. Rain changed over to snow, got about 1 inch, and then by morning it had melted. And then now we got this one. Today's supposed to be the coldest day of this
so far
of this winter season, with high of only about 37, 38, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of brisk out here. Good day to work. So it's a beautiful sunrise this morning also. So we tried to get some video and a picture. That's what opened up the video here. But we just don't have the high quality camera to really get it. But it was amazing just how beautiful that sun was underneath the clouds over there this morning.
Over there.
Yeah, over the solar.
Past the solar panel.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful considering all the other things you could see out in the world. That beat the hell out of most of it, you know. So I want to well, let's see, what do we call this one? Same title, but I think I in the thumbnail I'll put finishing touches. We're in the finishing touches part of it. And I want to walk you through a little bit of what we've got going on. I've got some parts, pieces, bits and bobs worked on. We're almost done. Still got a bit of work to do, but it won't take too much. The first thing is, you see me, I've got my my little laser thermometer in my hand. Definitely helpful to have one of these, because then you know what you're doing. I've actually purchased, we found was over at Orscheln's, one of those big long meat thermometers. It goes all the way up to 700 degrees.
Something like that, yeah.
So what we're going to end up doing is I'll end up drilling a little hole here. I haven't insulated this door yet, but it's coming. Oh, that's warm. And if you look up in there, this is what, the third fire or the second? Second fire. Second fire. So switch that over. 390, 400, 485, 527. So it's warming up on that. So all those coals that you see in there, I took the shovel over there. I just moved. I took that shovel and I scooped them out of the barrel stove in the greenhouse this morning to get a second fire in there. So the first one, we brought the internal brick up to about 180 to 200 degrees.
Something like that.
And let it sit for a bit. This is the second fire now. The brick that are getting up to the 500, that's Celsius. The 500 right here, the low ones, the ones that were done first. And up top
portion,
right there at 212, well, that was a little higher, 240-ish, 250. Can you see those numbers in the? Can you see those numbers in the camera? No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, if you quit moving, honey.
Okay, I can't see. I don't have my readers on. So as you move around, it gets a little.
Yeah, I can see it.
So I'm going to continue doing successive fires to warm it up, to try and push the moisture out. And the side that's been on the sun side has dried out quite a bit more than this side. You can still see there's areas here that the mortar still looks wet compared to down here. That just still looks wet.
Yep. So
I want to take my time on this and not push it. During that time, we finished the tile.
We did.
Why don't you see the tile laid up on here? And here, let me put the door back up here. I want to hold that heat in. I want that heat.
So we got tile all the way around here.
Yeah, come around over here. And I will say I'm not happy with the grout, because if you look over here, zoom up in here, down in here, you see how it cracked a bit. It was a sandless grout. It didn't have any sand in it, and I should have mixed it. It's also a lot grayer, but it's what I got from my buddy where I got the tile from. He's going to be building an oven too, but he had the tile. So if you look, let me move these. We'll talk about it in a second. But back up here, honey, and show. Step over this way. Step over this way. Thank you. There you go. If you notice, the color of the tile matches the brick almost. I mean, perfectly.
Almost the brick, yeah.
So it's beautiful.
Hi.
Where are you going? You're all over the place. So anyway, let's look at the grill portion of it. So there's still some things I have left to do. Well, let's just explain it.
Yeah.
One of the things I want to do is, I don't like the white bricks sticking out so much, so I've got a can of that high temp paint. The high temp paint that I'm going to use to paint the rest of the metal. I have some 2-inch angle that I'm going to do a front frame, and that I'll actually literally drill and lag into the brick, through the brick and into these concrete block here to help hold that frame in. Yesterday I went into a metal shop and bought the plate steel that I'm going to use to cover the top of this and the front of this to turn it into kind of like a wood stove for the smoking aspect of it. The fire we did, as you can see, there was a fire in there. The fire we did with the first fire that I did in there, and it proved a lot of things to me. I learned a lot in doing that. So when I go to use this as a smoker, what I'm going to have to do is a small fire in there to warm up the oven so that I can get the heat flow going. But when I did that, and I had just a small fire to start getting the temperature up in there, what happened was it created a draw. So we were cooking dinner out here and frying up some taco meat and warming up our wraps and all, and we were having a good time, as cold as it was. But the whole time, because there was a bit of a draw, it was a draw created by that small fire, it had heated up, it was pulling that, the flames were just wrapping up into the, so it was a good draft in there. So it's working, and it's working. Yeah, back to the Star Wars movie. I love it. I'm tickled to death that it's doing what it's supposed to do well. Once we get this, I'm going to make it so that the upper plate here is just like this door, and it's removable, and I can pick it up and put it back down, because I don't want to overcook this one. You want to smoke it, you need a slow fire, a little bit of constricted air so that the wood can sit there and smoke and not burn so much. So I want to smoke it. So what I'll probably do is be able to get a fire going in here, get it warm like I had it, and once I get down to a bed of coals, throw a couple sticks of good hickory on it, and then put my plate down. And the kids are all over around us. Here,
Him is not normally playing.
Yeah, so we've got our cedar posts. We've got the metal. I'll have to get a few more trees. We put some stakes in the ground where we think
We want it.
where we think we're going to put the posts so that we have a roof over this. I'm going to actually do this roof cantilever, or not, what's the right word? With an offset gap in the roof.
So the smoke
So
goes
that
up and out.
the smoke that's coming up will go up and out. Probably a little wind-driven rain might come through, but the idea is, because of the shape I'm going to have this, the exterior of the roof is going to be just a few inches off of here. So I'm going to put some little bit of upper siding from cedar on it to keep wind-driven rain from coming, because I really don't want this pit to get fully drenched in water.
Right.
A little bit of rain spray every now and then won't hurt it, but I don't want water pouring down in here and getting into. So I'm gonna cover this, and So we're working on that. It's not 100% yet. We got some of the stuff set up. We're working to go. I was hoping to do this all in one video, but it's going to take a bit for us to truly finish it. Even though the projects are only a day project here and maybe a day and a half there, it's taken a little bit longer. It took me a day. Let's talk about these. These are the tools that I have made for the operation of the oven. There are 2 pizza peels. There's the wood. Ooh, that got dirty. Oh no, I got marks on my beautiful wood. Oh well. So the ash rake, which I've already used, kind of tested it out, and the pizza peel, which I'm extraordinarily proud of. This is at one of those wide boards. Some of you saw me mill this out. Check out the burl in it. Look at the burl in that. That's kind of wild. I don't know if it's going to be stable enough to take the heat.
Well, we'll find out.
The fortunate thing about having that bandsaw mill is it allowed me to cut the taper on that board like I did. So we were over at the mill. You can see there's a big pile of logs over there for my community member. We're getting some wood cut up for his cabin. So he's taking the trees off of one of the lots, and we're going to mill them up for rafters and 2x4s and stuff like that. So we're going to mill it up. Well, while we were doing it, I took this board, and when we had a cant that I could lay it on, I laid it on the cant at an angle and then ran it at that just ever so slight taper. Because I want all options. So I saw, as I told you in the previous video, I saw that guy Townsend on his. They had a really rough looking essentially pizza peel or a giant spatula, whatever you want to call that thing, made out of wood, and it just tapered down into a nice little stick for a handle. And it was also something I noticed is the tip end of it, from going in and out of the heat, the very high temperature oven, the tip end had charred. So all I really want is, or need, I should say, need is about 12 inches for a 12-inch circle pizza. However, I left it long for options so I could put in something bigger, and to see, you know, if this did char and I needed to sand it down and clean it up from time to time, you know, who knows. Got it branded, nice long stick. You see the handle good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So for this, and on these handles, instead of rounding them over with like half round or 3/4 round to make it more round, I only did a 1/4 round, and these are 1 by 1.5 inches, so that you could get your hands on it and you could really work this thing, that you had the control that you want over it. So I did all the handles the same. And what I see when you buy these pizza peels online is they generally have 2 different shapes or 2 different kinds. One of the pizza peels is considered a turner, where you could go in there and you rotate that pizza. So you turn that pizza, so the hot spot on this side next to the fire, it gets done, and then you turn that pizza in there to cook the other side, right? Well, I wanted to try and get a lightweight aluminum one, so I bought one of those medium-sized cookie sheets from Wally World, and you can even see their little stamp down there. And essentially, I cut the ring off of it, cut the flat out of it, and then did a couple of stiffener bends, little diagonal stiffener bends, but it's still it's a little flexible. So I'm not so sure this is going to work, but it's a shot. But I can easily replace it. I can unscrew this and pull it out. Yesterday we went to the metal shop, and I got the sheet metal and some angle iron and stuff to work on the enclosure here. And I checked on a piece of aluminum. They had a piece of sheet aluminum there. I almost got it, but it was about twice this size, and they wanted like $45 for that piece of metal. $45. Now the rest of the steel, $100. I mean, just for what I got, it was hardly that much metal, and it was $100. Show you that here in a second, because we're working on a couple of pole mounts for a system for one of my other neighbors, and we got the pole mount stuff, same setup as what we got here. But to finish with the tools, this is the ash scraper, or the ash rake. Let me move this up. We'll set this here. Now look in here. So it's meant so you can push up against it and get your fire out of the way, or if you need to pull it back out. This is real simple. The handle was basically straight off the strips of wood that came off that board, and this is a piece of 1.5 inch angle iron, 1/8 inch thick, and all I did was notch it out to give me a nice little triangle brace across it. And then if you look at it from the side, when I cut the notch for it to fit into the wood, I did it at a slight angle so that, step back, no, step back over here, step back over here. All right, so if I had put it in there at 90 degrees, in order to work that at 90 degrees, I'd have had to have my hands down low to the brick. By cutting that at an angle, it allows me to keep the scraper at a 90 degrees to the brick, but my hands can be up high. So I gave it a little angle so I could do it like that and not have to come in like that. Just you see the angle, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so that's the explanation of that. Little piece of angle iron, ground down, shaped up, smoothed up, and then painted with that same high temperature paint. What do you think, Smokey? Smokey's over here checking it out. You want to go up top? And then the last tool is a simple wooden handle stick, same as these others. I cut a whole bunch of them for it, but with what will be the mop. So when I get, it's warm. That's really warm, buddy.
Nice,
you don't want to get your head down in there. He always looks down in there, and you don't want to do that, buddy. Not when the fire's going. So once you get your fire going, and you're going to push your coals out of the way, you need some way to kind of clean off the brick so you can throw your pizza down and not eat a whole mouthful of ash. So that's what the mop is for. It's basically a mop, the old-fashioned style. And all I did was took an old pair of my Carhartts, and where the front was all eat up from holes, I just took the back side of the pant legs and cut them up to make myself a little mop. I've got a little piece of aluminum electric fence wire wrapped around it. I can't show it to you now because I went and covered it, but I sanded a notch all the way around it, so when I tighten that wire around it, you're not going to get that off unless you pull the wire off. You have to undo the. Where are you going, dude? You like this, huh? Just like the last thumbnail. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Huh? You want to come down? You don't want to get down in there.
No,
you don't.
It's too hot, buddy. Hey.
No,
Smokey.
you don't, buddy.
It's too hot, honey. That's a good boy.
So, let's see, what else? I still think I want to insulate the door so that when I get this thing really hot, that wood's getting hot, but not too much. I'm concerned about it now. It hasn't even charred it. So here you go. I've got the tools. Go over here and let's go over here real quick. So you can see I've got the metal here for the two pole mounts, but I also picked up, this is a 1/4 inch by 3/4 inch flat bar, a little piece of 3/4 by 3/16, a little piece of 3/16 by 1, some different size flat bar for, there he is, Smokey, and one more piece of this 2-inch. Now this is a thicker. No, I'm wrong. That's the same.
No, it's the same.
This is the same. I got the right thing. All right, so this is going to be the framework for the front door that I'm going to turn it in, to the frame for the grill area.
We got a chorus going.
Yeah, might actually get some eggs. Birds have been low on eggs. And then this sheet will be the front. Pull these all out of the scrap bin, so I'm going to have to cut them to length and width. And this is the other piece. And what do you say this was? This is not quite 1/8 inch, 3/16. No, 3/32. Not quite. Not quite. It's like 4. I think he called it 14 gauge. So this one will be the top. The other one will be the bottom. And there you go. Those pieces of flat bar, these 2 pieces of sheet metal, and this one piece of angle iron was $100. So the rest, there was over $500 in metal for those pole mounts, which was crazy, total crazy. So wrap it up. Final touches. It's taking me a little longer because there's other things that are going on. I mean, like coming up in a few days, we're going to a place and we're going to cut down a whole bunch of very tall, straight white pine, yellow pine, white pine.
Pine trees.
Pine trees. I think it's yellow pine. Anyway, we'll be doing that so we can put a huge stack of pine logs on the mill. So there's a lot of things that we're doing, plus staying out of the cold as much. Trying to when we can, and getting firewood. We've been cutting firewood like crazy for this year because we're going to need it for
the greenhouse and all of that.
Everything. So anyway, that's what we got. That's where we're at. I want to add one last thing. When we get these things done, at some point we're going into going to go back into product production mode. I keep talking about this. We want to do it, but I want to get my homestead done first because we still got the root cellar to do.
Yeah.
We're going to go at some point. We're going to go into product production mode. So we'll probably just put it out there that we're going to maybe take orders or just go to making stuff, cutting boards. Anybody who wants, the brick oven tools, I like those. I'd love to be able to produce those. That big wooden one, yeah, you can go online and buy the cheap little aluminum ones for not too expensive. But the big wooden one, man, that's like the difference between DeWalt and pick your cheap Harbor Freight tool. I mean, that's the one that it's what kind of really classes everything up about having the brick oven and stuff. So being able to make those tools, cutting boards, maybe another apple presses, the cheese presses.
And speaking of cutting boards, Miss Margarita, if you're watching this video, please check your email.
Yeah, we sent you an email. I know you want one. But I'm having some issues with finding some black walnut at the moment. I haven't seemed to get my hands on some walnut so I could do some color variation in the wood. But those will sort themselves out.
Yep.
But yeah, so we there's a couple of people that need some stuff that we have said that we will do and try and get done before Christmas. But coming soon. And in between all of these things, if somebody's got up with us, we could probably throw a few projects together before Christmas if somebody really wanted something, because we love helping you guys as well. This is why we do what we do. But there you go. We got most of the metal. We got to get we got the metal. We got the parts. We just need to start.
Just need to put it
we
together.
need to put it together, and that's going to take time. And things slow down. We don't have as
Yes,
much
buddy, that's my foot.
daylight. So I think that's it. I'll do another finishing touches video on the brick oven
When we get more complete.
once we get it more complete. Probably by the time I get the roof over it, so you can see what that looks like. Because then things will be awesome. And hopefully, in another week or two, I've run enough fires to there that I'm probably feel comfortable. Hey, buddy. Feel comfortable actually doing a pizza. We'll have to see how that goes. So, where are we at?
Say hi.
No, say
20,
bye.
25:14.
All right, we'll say bye-bye.
Bye.
We'll catch you all soon. Email in the description for those. It's HeritageHomesteadCreations at Proton. Check it out. It is still the PayPal Addy. We got that changed, although considering the things that have gone on with PayPal, we'll only use that when we need to because of a necessity. Trying to stay off of that as much as possible. But anyway, there you go. Hope that's everything. Any comments, questions? Those of you comment, email, please give it a thumbs up. Oh my goodness, Smokey. Here, you want to say goodbye? Say goodbye.
Hi.
Say bye-bye.